Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Beyond the Walls with Carla. I really appreciate the likes, the comments, and if I've said anything that might have resonated with you, perhaps share it with a friend because maybe it might be a benefit to them also. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. What I want to do is pick up from where we left off last week when I was talking to you all about fear. Some people believe that, to be transparent about your emotions and your feelings, that perhaps that's not, favorable. But that's okay because I believe in transparency. I believe in authenticity. And I like to speak from my heart. And I want you all to come along on this journey with me. I believe that, we're walking this road together and this journey together in life, and we're all a part of the same human race, and so we need each other. And if someone else's struggles or someone else's hindrances can be a benefit to others, or being forthright about your hindrances can be of benefit to someone else, why not share, right? And so thank you so much. So picking up from last week, what I want to share with you all about is, fear can sometimes prostrate itself and, give the false evidence, appearing real. And so people really, you become frightened and you become crippled, like I said, with that fear. And, you start believing what you're seeing. And it's in those pivotal moments that we really need to, grasp onto our faith and trust God, because fear likes to show up right during that, that wilderness experience. And you know what I'm talking about. We've all been through them, right? And that's where everything that can go wrong seems to go wrong. And so, like, for example, you get some bad news, there's the death of a loved one, your own illness, your relationships are going sour, and there's more month at the end of your money. And, anything that can go wrong seemingly goes wrong. And it's in those moments that, fear likes to wreak havoc and pop up its ugly head and come knocking at your door. And, we don't need to invite fear in and set a place for it at the dinner table. I would encourage you and myself that when fear does pop up, because none of us is immune to any of these hindrances, like I've said. And so when fear does pop up, and knocks at your door, you need to greet fear with, like, your Rottweiler or your pit bull faith, trust God and say, because faith is the opposite of fear, right? And I know that fear, when you're going through that wilderness experience and you're experiencing fear, that, it seems like you're all alone and that there's no one there with you, and that, you need somebody to throw you a life jacket. And that's when you're going through isolation in that wilderness experience. But stand firm and just hold on to your faith. When the storm is raging in your life, just know that God is on that boat with you. He said that he'll never leave you and he'll never forsake you. And so hold on and remember that it's usually when things, are going to get better, or you're about to, your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations are about to come to fruition. That's when fear comes along, because what it wants to do, the intent of fear, is to put doubt in your mind and to get you to deter from what you're currently doing or what you're embarking upon, because it knows that you're about to win, right? And so you've got to just trust God and know that he's with you. And it's always darkest before the dawn. And so hang in there. I'm thinking right now of this illustration where there's this caricature of this guy, and he's a miner, and he's in the mine and he's mining for minerals. And when he's within like a couple inches of extracting the minerals, he turns and walks away. And, that's what life is seemingly about. We start doubting and wondering, did I hear right? Am I really good at this? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Maybe I've made a mistake. Maybe I didn't hear from God, or, maybe that this isn't for me. Maybe I need to do something new. And no, it's right when you're about to hit it, when you're about to strike it, when you're about to achieve your goals and your dreams and your aspirations, that fear likes to pop up. And so you need to encourage yourself in those moments. You need to remind yourself that, no, I know that I know that I know that, this isn't just something in my imagination, that, I'm gifted. I'm talented in this area. This is what I'm meant to do. This is what God has promised me, and a lot of times you'll hear people say, well, okay, yeah, so I've got faith, but, you can't just have faith. And they're right. Faith without works is nothing, right? You've got to do that preparation. And once you've prepared yourself, preparation and opportunity will meet. And then don't turn around and call that luck, because it's not luck. I've heard it said that when preparation and opportunity meet, that's when luck shows up or something like that. But that's nonsense. That opportunity is your God-given destiny. That's what God preordained for your life. And so when you're prepared, it's going to happen. God is not going to let you down. He's going to show up and he's going to make everything right. Because remember, God has promised to work everything together for your good. Remember when I talked to you about in the previous videos about detours and so forth, that God's going to be able to navigate you back to what you're supposed to be doing, your purpose and his will for your life. And those giftings and those dreams and those aspirations, that's all an indication on the direction and the path that you ought to be taken. So don't give up. And remember, I talked to you last week about David, that, David had to encourage himself. And so you need to encourage yourself. And in those wilderness experiences, you need to go before God and, be reminded of who God is and who you are in God. And remember that God's never let you down before. And the other part of that story with David, after his camp had been invaded and the women and children were taken, well, the other side of that story is that, David and his men, after, he prayed and he went before God and he encouraged himself and all that stuff. Him and his men went back to the enemy's camp, got back their women, got back their children, got back their goods, and then some. The scriptures state that he recovered all. And so don't be discouraged. You're going to win. Keep hanging in there. Fight the good fight of faith, And remember, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. Without faith, it's impossible to attain all that God has for you and your dreams and your goals and your aspirations, because faith is that fuel that we need to plunge forward and to keep going after it, And so I want you to hang in there. This isn't it. It's not over. Keep fighting the good fight, and remember that everything's going to work out, right? And fear is an illusion. It's false evidence appearing real. And fear has no jurisdiction over your life. So I want you to be encouraged and know that, we all go through difficulties and we all go through fear. But you know what? We've got to let our faith come forth, and we've got to walk by our faith and not by our sight, because sight can sometimes be an illusion, false evidence appearing real, fear. So be encouraged by this word. I hope that it will be a benefit to someone and a blessing to someone. I thank you so much for watching, and remember to keep your sights on the things that are eternal, for it's in the eternal things that we can move beyond the walls.